Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Invictus Racing League F1 division. It's the start of the week. It's the start of our coverage of live races all week. My name is Webbo, and we are brought to you by Nailcut Hall, by GT Omega, and in partnership with gridfinder.com and Driver 61. With me in the commentary box, as always, is Lightning.
Hello, everyone. Great to be here.
Good to have you, Lightning. We've had 3 winners from 3 races, and that's about all I can remember as far as the standings are concerned.
Yeah, that is true. And in the standings, we have Noah's Ark with Alpine and Mercedes in the top 4. Max leading the way with a great start to this season with a win and a P3. 33 points total, followed very closely by his teammate Speed Queen, only 5 points behind. And then the Mercedes of Jaum and Jelly. Also, Jaum is equal on points with Speed Queen with 28, and Jelly trailing 10 points behind his teammate. Living Wall, Reshka, War Islander, and Delange also very close to Jelly. And then we have the lower end of the points, taking L's, Krieg, Luke Lira, who I am expecting great things, but he isn't here, so I'm afraid that'll have to wait. Backer, Luke Bailey, GTX Matty, Simply 90, Burmeister, who hasn't scored any points yet, neither has Mduran or MV Bull. Hopefully that'll change this round. In the Constructors, it is Alpine leading the way by quite a margin, 61 points to Mercedes 46. So they are looking very comfortable with a very strong lineup. Red Bull and Williams fighting for P3 at the moment. Alfa Romeo in the midfield, likewise with AlphaTauri. Ferrari, McLaren, Haas and Aston Martin quite low down the order in terms of the points, so they're going to be looking to change that this race.
Yep, thank you for that. Fantastic stuff. And thanks to Jim, to Marco, and old friend of ours, Waitsy, who joins us in the live chat, already making their comments. If you're watching, there's at least, well, there's quite a few of you already, but so say hello, tell us who you're here to support, and great to hear from Waitsy as well. Marco has already been in there with the Burmeister comment, saying he's predicting a DNF already. So he's beaten Foxy to that one. Westy's here to say let's go Backer, and Rents as well. Welcome one and all. Welcome to this round 4 of the which is the Japanese Grand Prix. Just a couple of points of note. We spoke to Warislander last week, who said that when he came up with the name, it should be War Islander. He's so used to being called Warislander now that has stuck. So we're going to try and call him Warislander. And if you hear us say Yella instead of Jelly, or Haum instead of Jaum, that we're attempting to get everybody's names correct for them. Warislander, though, Lightning, first out there on track.
Yeah, in the Alfa Romeo, last season's Constructors Champions, starting a lap now. Trying to get a good exit, a little bit wider through the last part of the Casio Triangle. Down the hill.
To the appropriately named last curve. And we're away.
I didn't know that. Now I do. Heading down the hill, trail braking through this really understeery right-hander. Misses the apex, not what you want to do. Trying to get a good exit through these S's. I think he was flat out for that first part. Super easy to spin here if you touch too much of that curb. You either want to touch a lot of it or none at all. Flat out through the left-hander. Up the hill slightly, and then into Degner 1 and 2. Downshift, barely touching the brakes. Degner 2 there. I said Degner 2 on Degner 1, I apologise. Into the hairpin. Late braking. Really easy to spin on traction here, but very careful not to do so. Up the hill now. Getting ready to attack Spoon Curve. Again, more trail braking. And the second part of Spoon. Getting a good exit here is critical. Nearly going a little bit too wide, but keeping it in the track limits. Up the hill, ready for 130R. Arguably the best corner on the circuit. Flat out through here. Yep, keeping to the inside for the shortest run into the Casio Triangle. Really late braking there. Nice apex. And down the hill. Keep to the inside for the shortest run. And 129.4.
129.4 indeed. A nice early lap. Looks like Living Wall potentially had an issue because the Red Bull of Delange, who was right behind Warislander on their outlap, slowed right the way down. He's halfway around the lap only, as Yella goes 121.0. So we're tantalisingly close to the 128 club. We lost Bakker already.
Yeah, a new fan favourite, DNF already. But Jelly, P1, that's pretty impressive considering his injuries and apparently with the word you're not allowed to say on YouTube.
Yes, the
C word, and not the
bad C word.
Yeah.
Delange though down towards the chicane. Avoid those bollards. He could be a little bit closer, but what about that for a lap out of Helm already? A 128.6. He was dominant last time out until it all went wrong, but Delange, a fairly pedestrian 129.580. Hi to Rusman, who's here to fact find for his race later in the week as usual. What about Speed Queen, who has yet to step on the top step of the podium this season, but it's got to be coming lightning. She's been on lightning form this year.
Yeah, she's been fantastic, especially in the race pace. Always making up the order, brilliant time management. Always very secretive, never in the interviews, and yeah.
She doesn't give much away, that's for sure.
I'm expecting good things. I'm not sure if this is her favourite track or a good track for her, but I guess we'll find out at the end of this session. Stinson has retired.
I was going to say welcome back to the league, Stinson. Unfortunately, he's left before I've had a chance to do that, so he will be starting at the back, unfortunately, with Bakker at the moment, unless anybody disqualifies themselves. Speed Queen, you can hear her short shifting. She doesn't use assists, so she gets automatic respect for that, but 129.6.
Sorry, Burmeister nearly hit Stinson's retired car there. Not expecting to see him.
What's Living Wall up to? He's on a lap, heading towards Spoon right now. Great corner names here at the Suzuka track. Some blindingly obvious, some perfectly opaque. I just can't understand. I love it. So Living Wall heading towards 130R, which predictably enough has a 130-degree radius.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, several Japanese tracks are named, have corners named just by the radius of the corner. So towards the line then, Living Wall 128.8. Very nice time out there. So that's Mercedes, Red Bull Mercedes, who no one would claim we're not giving entertainment already. Simply 90 starting his lap in the Haas, and we'll ride on board with him while we keep an eye on the tower. I've got no information on weather yet, Lightning. All I had was Stinson commenting it will be raining sideways, but I think that was a joke, so less than helpful as to what we're expecting. Obviously dry in quali right now, nice clear skies, great visibility from the Ferris wheel on the outside of the circuit. Simply 90 heads towards Degner 1. Perhaps could have had a little bit more apex on both sections of Degner 1, but crucially didn't run out wide into what I like to call the Kobayashi hairpin.
In the practice for this race, Living Wall got pole position with a 128.6, so I know he has at least 2 tenths in him to not beat Jaum though. He's not got the pace of Jaum in the practice, but hopefully he can get some extra performance out of the car in the real deal.
Did you take part in the practice?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just saw a picture.
Oh, right, okay. Good research nonetheless. Stinson says weather is clear now, so I'll wait for confirmation because he seems to be in a bit of a jokey mood tonight. Simply 90 looked clean and simple out there, but unfortunately just a P12, 29.6. But that does mean that we have 12 drivers within a second of each other, and they're the only ones who've really set representative times. The closeness of this F1 field, Lightning, is fast becoming legendary.
It is beautiful to see, and I always like to witness close racing, and it does provide. And we still
Prix
haven't
at the
had
moment is on a lap. Sorry, go ahead.
We still haven't had our championship leader do a lap yet. I think he's out at the moment.
Max.
Yeah, Craig.
I'm reading Max
Yes.
in the pits at the moment. Are you reading something different?
No, I said he hasn't done a lap yet.
Okay, cool. Craig, yes, he's going through Spoon at the moment. Looking like he's got a very loose car underneath him.
Yeah, well spotted. He had to back out of the throttle, the exit of Spoon.
If there are any drivers racing on a Logitech G29, going down this section of track is absolute awful for the noise it makes with the bumps going down the back stretch towards 130R. Quick then, a 129.9, so just stretching out that field slightly. Unfortunately, we wait for our championship leader, who is letting everybody sweep the track for him. Doran on a lap. It's looking perhaps not amazing so far, but maybe just bringing the tyres in gently through Spoon. Running nice and wide. Gets the car hooked back into the second part of Spoon. It's always difficult, Lightning, to judge the speed for the second part of Spoon.
Absolutely. Sometimes you can mash the throttle down straight away. Other times the car just goes. So you have to be very careful. Have to have a lot of practice at this circuit.
Durham was indeed dancing on the brakes on the way into Casio Triangle. He obviously did reserve some tyres for the second half of the run, and it's a P4. So really picked up a lot of time through the second sector. Let's join Halm though, while Max is on an outlap. Let's see what Halm has got as he gets into the hairpin. Taking that wide line, Lightning, that tends to be a bit more speed through there.
Yeah, better traction, better exit up this long hill. Keeping to the right hand side, because that's where you want to be for the start of Spoon. Really throwing the car in there. That's beautiful.
Threading the needle across the exit curb. Gets a nice slingshot out of there here, down the back stretch then.
Into 130R, flat out through here surely. Keeping to the inside for the shorter run.
Half a second faster.
Oh my goodness me, half a second.
Can he complete this lap? Maybe slight back end stepping out slightly on him to the line then. It's a 128.073. That is going to take some beating tonight. What's Max got in response? Max, we know, is Mr. Consistency with regard to racecraft, but perhaps not quite there on out-and-out qualifying pace. But we'll see as he uses the banking here in the S's. Looks like he's got this really well hooked up, Lightning.
Yeah, it's looking really smooth through Sector 1, but that lap from Jaum is seemingly difficult to match. Not purple through Sector 1, a bit of a wobble through Degner 1. To the hairpin.
Bakker telling us that the mediums were really slippy in the S's, and that's why he went off. So good for us to get a bit of feedback from the drivers. We appreciate that, Bakker, as I'm sure your fan club do as well.
Well, the softs race pace are pretty terrible around here, especially if you don't lower the tyre pressures.
Yeah. Max getting this hooked up. We'll wait for an update on his sector. Should be purple for him at least, but he's not. For some reason that's not showing up. Currently your order is Halm, Living Wolf, Speed Queen and Yeller, Delange, M. Doran, Warrislander, Burmeister, Reschke and Luke Bailey, who will start on the tyres they have run in this session. What has Max got then? He goes wide on the exit and gets a 128.7, which is good enough for third place. Just under 2 seconds separating the whole field at the moment.
Yeah, Living Wall did improve his time. He's now within 4/10 of Jaum. I didn't notice that at the time. But the Alpine's very close. 2/10 separate those two.
Yeah.
P1 and 2 in the championship.
We're waiting for something to kick off between the Alpine teammates, because they're both at the top of the championship at the moment, and that cordial relationship can't continue if the championship starts to get serious towards the end of this season.
There was a bit of battle on the first round, but Speed Queen managed to pass Max with ease because of mediums versus hard tyres.
Yeah, absolutely. Living Wall, has he got a better time in the bank so far than he managed for pole in the practice? I think.
Well, he's 2/10 faster than his practice pole lap.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if he has any the 3/10 he needs in reserve.
Well, Bakker is betting on Living Wall to challenge Helm. It's possible.
I don't know.
But I'm not sure he's been paying attention to the last round. Max comes into the pits. We wait for the outlaps to begin. Warislander, Reshka, taking else, and Prix are out on track at the moment.
I don't think he's paying attention to the fact that Bakker's out of the qualifying session.
No, Bakker himself is picking Living Wall to take it to Helm.
I was confused.
No, he's not quite got that level of confidence, I don't imagine. But Prix, I think, will start the first of these outlaps. The rear end of the field all coming out together, and the top drivers, the top 7, all waiting for the last possible moment. And we're going to get some traffic issues as Prix starts his lap, and we'll see how his first sector goes. AlphaTauri, P14 at the moment. You feel like he must have more in the car tonight.
AlphaTauri with only 9 points in the championship. They're going to be looking to improve that.
That's right. Down to 4th in the right-hander. Now building the speed. Just using that extra bit of tarmac on the exit. And now through Degner. We are up on the time, but only by 1.135. Let's see what Taking Else is up to in the Williams, and Warislander not far behind as well. Just starting his lap.
Bit of lag there, on my screen at least, for Warislander.
Oh, I don't have one.
Oh.
Is that a Red Bull going wrong in the...
I think it's... Oh, it's a spin for someone? I thought. Never mind. Delange was going slowly.
Warislander is up as well, so Taking Else has dropped his time. I think through his first sector, and all the outlaps begin for the big paying point positions, top of our grid. Let's see what everyone has got here. It does look like we're managing to spread out quite well, although the Mercedes are very close to one another. On track.
Well, from 4th to 7th is extremely close.
Yeah, I think Warislander might be able to jump up a place, as I think Reshka just goes up to P8. Warislander has just under 1/10 of a second gain coming, I think, and he only needs 1,000th to jump. 100th to jump Prix. So let's see as he pulls the car to the right, and up to P7 for Warislander. Nice time out there.
Jaum is currently taking his preparation to the next level, burning as much fuel as humanly possible.
Wow.
Revving the engine out of 6th gear, 1.7 laps of fuel left, so light car as possible.
That's a bit of a hack, as Living Wall has started his lap. We'll go through the S's with Living Wall. Who's your money on? Everyone in the live chat. How close can Living Wall get? Who's actually going for second place here? As Living Wall is slightly quicker. Let's see what Helm's first sector looks like. I'll get too excited by that. Living Wall out.
Living Wall's out.
Yeah. Unfortunately, just missed that because I went back to Helm.
Pushing a bit too hard there. Lost of traction on the exit of Degner 2.
Looks like, is that Yellow behind and Max possibly together on track? Helm's a 10th faster. Might he even get into the 127s here? What's Max up to? Can he get himself on that front row? Coming towards the timing beam now. Down the back stretch. See what he's got. So it's a 1/10 of an improvement, but he needs a little bit more than that. Now Halm 0.140 still. Down the backstretch now with Halm in the Mercedes. There's a Haas up the road ahead, thankfully getting out of the way. Halm has lost quite a bit of his gains already, and Max crosses the line 1/10 faster. It's not enough to get onto the front row. It looks like Livingwall will be able to take this in absence, unless Luke Bailey or Speed Queen have got anything in response. Halm, does he go faster still? No, not quite. That final sector before, that was a monstrous final sector. Speed Queen crosses the line, goes P7 for Alpine. Luke Bailey, I think, is on a slowdown, and it's just Warislander who has done and dusted, and I think that's our grid. Lightning, real drama at the end, but no major improvements for anybody, just pushing too hard, I think.
Yeah, Livingwall throwing everything at it. Can't blame him. Just in case he had that extra pace in it, he thought he would just send it as much as possible. But yeah, unfortunately, it ended in a wall.
Certainly went for it, and as you say, no prize for that today. But he'd already got P2. Perhaps felt like he wasn't necessarily going to get hold of P1 anyway, unless he just created new lines up there. But that looks to be our grid for this Japanese Grand Prix. Qualifying done and dusted. Yella is driving pretty cross. He's given it the old fuss comment, and he said it would have been P4. So he's got starting 4 places back from that.
He didn't really time it properly. Well, Mercedes, I think, must have benefited Jaum there, because Jelly was right on the rear of Jaum starting the lap, and he didn't get the exit he needed outside of the exit of the Casio triangle, and he was super close to Jaum, meaning dirty air.
Well, let's run you through the order then. Helm takes the pole, 128.073, 3.75 of a second ahead of Livingwall, Max, M. Doran, Luke Bailey, Burmeister, Speed Queen, Yella, Delange and Warislander, your top 10. Then on free choice of tyres comes Reshka, Craig, Simply 90, Taking L, Stinson and Bakker at the back, who has not run a great deal in this session. Neither has Stinson particularly, so coming into this one pretty cold.
Yeah, Stinson hasn't been in the league. Well, he's been in the league, but he hasn't been racing for a few weeks.
Yep.
Let's see what he can do on his return from the back of the grid.
So our first race was won by Livingwall, second by Max, the third race by Helm, emphatically at Zandvoort last week. Will we get to see a fourth winner, or will Helm manage to hold on to this one? He's not always had it his own way though, Lightning.
No, that's very true. For example, in Monza, he had to fight back on those soft tyres, which he did amazingly well, I might add. Brilliant overtakes, all the way from, I think, P11 to P2 in around 12 laps.
Well, let's get your predictions in the live chat for us. One single word, who's going to win today? Let's have your predictions. And while we wait between sessions, once you've done that, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. It always helps. It's a very small way you can say thank you for the broadcast and help out Invictus Racing League. And there's just about time enough as well to share the stream on socials and get your mates involved. I'm seeing a fairly small Burmeister fan club at the moment, Lightning. I'm not quite sure where they've all gone.
Yeah, maybe they're sad at his performance in the previous round, but he's got P6 on the grid at the moment, so he's turned things around. Hopefully this can be the first point scoring race.
I'm also intrigued to see how many cars are going to make it through turns 1 and 2 tonight. There could be a centre frost for Livingwall and Jaum. That'd be interesting, seeing them fight back through the grid. It's quite possible. It's a scene of many a great moment and overtake. I think Kimi Räikkönen, Fernando Alonso done some great moves through there. Rent says Helm with ease. Jim says simply. Yella says himself, and Lightning says himself as well. Some dude called
Yeah.
Lightning keeps showing up in the live chat today.
What a weirdo.
But yeah, we'll see what Helm's got, whether he can translate that qualifying speed into consistency. Can Max do his usual journeyman kind of driving skillfully but well within himself and take himself up to the podium again? What has Speed Queen got?
It.
You don't think so?
No, don't jinx it.
Oh, okay. I'm only asking questions here.
Okay.
Soft tyres all round then, apart from 3 drivers. That's Prix, Stinson and Bakker, who will start on fairly low grip mediums on a way to go. We might see a 2-stop strategy tonight, Lightning, depending on degradation.
Depending on VSEs or safety cars, but and with the soft tyres overheating, the hards might be a good option. Then you can push as much as you want without the fear of them going over the limit.
Very true. Very true. So Stinson, as we say, coming back to the league and wanting to get some championship points. It's round 4, but we are approaching 1/3 distance of our season already, so time enough to get some points on the board. Taking L's, taking Williams from fairly low down in the grid today. Simply 90 will fight on his own in the Haas team, as will Prix for Alpha Tauri. Reschke we've mentioned, then Warislander. Reschke not going for that opportunity to put mediums on Lightning and wants to stay on the lead strategy.
That's a bit confusing. Mediums to softs is quite a powerful strategy. Meanwhile, Delange and Warislander have disqualified themselves, meaning they are starting very cold tyres.
I think Warislander collided at the hairpin. Unfortunately, wasn't ready for Delange's slowdown, testing the brakes, and Reschke internet has failed, so we'll try to get back in, but we'll end up dropping down places, I'm sure. Thanks for that. So Helm, Living Wall Max, and then the McLarens, M. Doran and Luke Bailey, followed by Burmeister, Speed Queen and Yeller. But Helm will have the outside, I believe, into the first corner, which is the racing line. So Helm on our right as we line up with the lights. And again, a thank you to our sponsors, Nelcut Hall, to GT Omega, Driver61 and Gridfinder.com, without whom we would not go racing here tonight. A reminder then, this is round 4 of the championship.
Reschke has joined just in time.
Has been able to rejoin, yeah, fantastic. So Lightning, keep your eye on the rear of the grid. I will try and get us a good camera angle. There we go, finally. The lights are on for the Japanese Grand Prix in the F1 division of Invictus, and we're away, and nice gentle start really away from the line go the top 4, but it's the McLaren coming around the outside of Max. M. Doran's got Max on the inside, and the Ferrari of Burmeister shooting up the inside through into turn 2. Should be able to convert that one, and a place gained. Yeller moving up as well, as it looked like Luke Bailey was hampered from everybody else. Looks like we've got our cars through, Lightning, with just possibly Warislander missing out.
Yeah, that was a very clean start from everybody. I don't even think Warislander has damage as well. Meanwhile, I think side by side between Bakker and Simply. I was on board with TTG Jelly, and he had a great start, phenomenal start.
Burmeister needing to go defensive into the hairpin because Yeller has got right behind him. Yeller's got a great run out of there, and they'll be right up alongside Burmeister as they head towards Spoon. This one is very difficult corner to follow the driver in front. Might need to just back out of it slightly as he gets closer and closer. Burmeister missing the apex and doesn't get quite the launch. I think Yeller's tyres are in a better place than Burmeister's, but away they go then with ERS down at the backstretch for the first time. It's Helm, Living Wall, M. Doran, Max, Burmeister and Yeller we ride with, who gets a tighter line through 130R. Might be able to start challenging into the final chicane, but not quite. And everyone behaving themselves pretty well out there so far, Lightning.
Yeah, it's been very clean, very close together. Burmeister has been draining his ERS to defend from Jelly. On the exit of the hairpin, that's why he pulled away. Max, meanwhile, keeping an eye on the top three. Jaum pulling away from Living World already, so not looking good for a battle for the lead, but hopefully that can change. Duran doing fantastically. I think he's penultimate in the championship, and now he's currently in the podium position. So very impressive.
Obviously fancies a run at it tonight. Obviously this track playing into his strengths. We've got lots of predictions. We've got lots of comments in the live chat, and we thank you for all of them. Bram says, "Is there a Discord?" I think he wants to join. I think there's better than that. There's a website. I think you can find all the links on the About page. Once the race is done of the YouTube channel, someone will help you out, I'm sure. Yella P6. The best way, though, is to follow Invictus at Invictus RL on Twitter, and then you'll be able to find all the access points that you need to come and join us going racing here. Max is half a second behind Doran. Living Wall has dropped back slightly, but he's gaining down the backstretch. But it's Yella, I think, looking like the most likely, as they will get DRS enabled as they cross the start-finish line next time round. And Yella will be right there with Burmeister, I think. Burmeister's struggling on these tyres early doors. In fact, with that step out from the back of the car, I think he might be in trouble. No, he's spending away again, Lightning.
Yeah, lots of ERS spamming from Burmeister, now to 50% to Yella's 90. So at some point, the tides will turn in terms of straight line speed.
Now, this is a very difficult track to put an overtake in. Is that Yella just getting slightly sideways through the S's? Perhaps
he touched one of those curves.
It was a curb spit, was it, rather than an aero loss? But yeah, really difficult track to stay with the car in front. You lose your sight line up the hill, up the in the S's in the first sector lighting. Really difficult to stay with them.
You can see Yella missing the apexes of both Degners there due to the dirty area that you were mentioning. So
absolutely.
very difficult to follow.
We've got Speed Queen chasing Luke Bailey as well. The cars still very close to one another, apart from Simply 90, where I believe is pitted for mediums. Interesting choice to make for the mediums at this stage. But we've managed to get through these first 3 laps without a yellow flag at this stage. Speed Queen getting a good run here on Luke Bailey down the backstretch. There's no DRS on this straight, so if you need to do it into the Casio triangle, you've got to use just ERS and slipstream. Yella can't get past Burmeister either, and Speed Queen, patient as ever, waiting for her opportunity. Living Wall gets the fastest lap out there and is closing on Helm at this stage.
Maybe he has a better race pace.
Max and Doran.
Max going, yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
And also Burmeister and Yella.
So that was the time. Everyone went for it. The first opportunity with the DRS. Max gets past Doran. Yella gets past Burmeister. Blink and you miss it.
Gets past Prix.
Wow. So lap 4 was the time.
Currently a 2-second gap between Max and Living Wall, so he's going to have to do some pushing here. Living Wall clearly with a better race pace at the moment, but Jaum has a 100% battery at the moment.
Will Speed Queen be tempted into a move into the hairpin here? She's very close, and in fact, Luke Bailey got that wrong, and Speed Queen up alongside. It's not the best place to try and put your car, because you get the longer run towards Spoon. I think Speed Queen might have it as she dicing left and right with Luke Bailey. She's got the inside line. Luke Bailey leaves a car width on the inside. Speed Queen didn't fancy getting the elbows out at this early stage of the race, Lightning.
Oh, but then she's got to run.
Yes.
She's got the slipstream up the inside. Simple move there from Speed Queen.
That was patience. That was really good racing with patience and being very circumspect.
Living Wall, a spin for who we thought would be the challenger for the lead. Yet another mistake from
not the safest rejoin, and he's going to go sideways into the pit lane. I think that was a reset to track in the pit lane as well. So
that was
tripling his woes.
An automatic thing. He will have side pod damage if he touched that barrier there. So his
the
car's
bollard
or
the barrier?
The barrier. Oh, right. And War Islander also spins across the grass.
Oh, he's not having a good night of it so far.
Stinson as well has spun in the grass in the S section, and so is Prix, and he's nearly out. He's broken his front wing.
Well, that's weird to see Stinson go wrong as well when he's on the medium tyres. Yeah.
3 spins in around.
We had a triple overtake on lap 4 and a triple spin on lap 5. What's lap 6 got for us? As we joined Yella, who's up to P4 now with Living Wall's woes. Doran is tight behind Max. And I'm looking to see who else is looking close. We've got Bakker on taking L's. We've got Warrislander on Stinson. Both of those drivers recovering.
I'm not entirely sure why Living Wall decided to pit there. I mean, yes, he had overheating tyres, but he didn't have wing damage. All that did was cause him to spin and hit the barrier. He might have side pod damage.
Very strange. Yeah, and Ren says, good news he didn't get a speeding penalty drifting in like that. Well, yeah, I'm not quite sure how he got away with it, but he did. I suppose if you're going in sideways, you're automatically slower. But yeah, Delange then has DRS, but so has Luke Bailey in the car in front of him, so that's a problem. Warrislander picks up a penalty, joining Prix with track limit penalties at this point.
Prix being very sportsmanlike, no front wing currently, letting everybody go past without blocking them, so that's very kind of him.
Good stuff. So, lap 6.
On the back of taking L's, looking for a move at some point.
It's almost like he's
built for it.
Made a name out of back marker, but he's condensed them together. Portmanteau of back marker, backer. I'm sure it's not.
I don't know what you're on about. What was that last part? Sorry.
It's like he's joined the 2 words together, back marker, to make backer.
No. The portmanteau, did you say?
Oh, portmanteau, that's a word. That is a word constructed of 2 words but shortened together.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You learn something new. When
oh no, Warrender has the possession. I'll invite him now.
Here comes Delange up the inside of Bailey. Luke Bailey down the back stretch. Got the move done with a good exit out of Spoon. Just about got the car back to the racing line as he headed into 130R. Car under control. Oh no, there he is, going wide. Just as I say, the car's under control and gives the place back to Luke Bailey, who had a much better run through the Casio Triangle. So, lap 7, it's Helm. 2.4 seconds behind him comes Max, and then immediately you've got Doran and Yella causing a bit of a DRS train situation. So Max just needs to focus on the 1 car behind him. Burmeister is 5th, still in the race, and Speed Queen 6th. Outside the DRS zone, as is Luke Bailey, but he's got Delange right behind him. As we just saw them trading places. Then Reshka a little way back. The grid has split up a little bit here, Lightning, but Reshka and taking L's, 9th and 10th for Williams at the moment.
Talking about the lead, Jaum is only 1/10 off his personal best in Sector 1, so that's pretty impressive considering it's lap 7 on these soft tyres.
Yeah, I think he might be doing his in-lap protocol now, if he's setting that kind of time.
Well, he's still got 100% battery, so he's not even using that.
Wow. Just playing with the field tonight.
I guess.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm sure he'll want maximum points. These drivers tend to want to tick off everything if they're dominating. So Max stretching slightly. It looks is that Delange and Luke Bailey trading places again.
I think it's simply has spun. No front wing, I believe.
Can Delange get the car slowed down into the Casio Triangle this time? He gets both apexes and a little bit slow, but I think away safely. But I think Luke Bailey will have the DRS and come straight back at him once again as they trade lanes, going down into the first corner. And Luke Bailey back past again, but they're going to be slowing each other down here, Lightning, as they just pass and repass.
Yeah, it's going to be... this is probably the time to work together before the pit stops, so you don't get undercut or overcut by anybody. Prix is about to get lapped because he just spun, and he's very, very close to getting lapped.
Ouch. Speed Queen is
Meanwhile,
3/10 behind Burmeister and looking racy at this point. Looks like Bakker and taking else as well. Is that what you were about to
Same battery for Burmeister and Speed Queen, so equal on that front. What I was going to point out is Max is closing in slightly on Yaum, but he is using a lot more ERS.
Okay, 5-second penalty for Simply, who retires from the session on the way in as well.
Oh, Jella, he spun.
Jella around then, yeah, and that frees up Speed Queen, Luke Bailey, Delange. Will Reshka get him as well? Big moment for Jella. Speed Queen just can't get quite behind enough Burmeister. You think at this point maybe it might be a good idea to head into the pits for Speed Queen if she's clearly being slowed down by Burmeister. I wonder if anyone will opt for that on lap 9, or will they be running through to get a better run? Here she comes though.
Going for the move.
Oh yes, fantastic exit from the final corner and
Delange.
Cleanly through.
Delange was with a lack of ERS there, so not enough straight line speed to overtake Luke Bailey. Reshka and Jella side by side in the S section. What will happen here? Oh,
Jella
very close.
Needs to get a little bit more patience. So there's a big wiggle for Jella as he switched left and right. Massive opposite lock moment, and it's just that impatience, Lightning, to get back into the rhythm and get your tyres back under control. Behind them, Bakker challenging, taking else as they go towards Degner, almost side by side. There's no way you can get two cars through there.
Yeah, it's the impatience that you rarely see from the likes of Speed Queen and Max.
Right.
We saw Speed Queen go for the move on the straight rather than up the inside at the second part of the spoon. So that racecraft from the experience always plays a big factor.
Absolutely. Yeah, Max 2.5 seconds behind Helm at the front. Burmeister trying to stay with Speed Queen and is still within DRS range. For how much longer though is the question. Delange and Luke Bailey giving us plenty of entertainment here tonight as Delange tries to catch back. Have we got Helm in the pits? Yeah, that's an early pit stop, the earliest of the leaders, so perhaps not quite all going his own way. He'll hope to have a good one here. Lap 10's a great time to pit, but I'm surprised to see him in before the majority of the rest of the field. Speed Queen does come in though to try and get the undercut on Burmeister. Fresh mediums going on to Speed Queen's Alpine, so you won't be able to sprint to the end on medium tyres. You've still got a little bit of management to go. Very late, slow exit of the pit lane here in Suzuka, feeding you right into the racing line as well. And Speed Queen has got a beautiful open track in front of her, so we'll get a good idea about the undercut when Burmeister comes in, and he must have to come in now then, Lightning, to defend from that as best as possible.
Yaum is going to have a beautiful undercut here. He's got into the perfect pocket of air, 5 seconds between him and Bakker, who will probably pit this lap or next lap. So,
well, Bakker's on the medium, so I think it's going to be a while for Bakker actually.
That's a very good point, but he's still got a 4-second gap to push, probably for another 2 or 3 laps before he catches up.
Talking about pushing, Max has put 2.5 seconds on Doran, and that was a lot closer a few laps earlier. So Max really building the speed towards the end of his soft stint here.
Yellow flag. Craig, I think he's letting people by, or he spun again. Oh no, spun again, and he's been lapped.
Wow, not the best of shows from Craig tonight, but sometimes errors just build on each other, and we can't know in the commentary positions here whether he picked up some damage in the first spin and it's just been a negative spiral for him. Bakker goes past everybody. Burmeister stays out instead of defending from Speed Queen. It might be a lost cause, frankly, when they were so close to each other. So maybe he just wants the speed at the end of the race. Helm is back into 3rd place. Stinson has moved up to 4th, starting at the back on the medium tyres. Still needs to pit, of course, as Livingwall sets the fastest lap on those 5-lap-old mediums, so just about in their peak operating window. But we're waiting for then the last of the medium runners to pit. That would be Bakker and Stinson. They'll be going for a few more laps yet, Lightning.
That undercut from Yaum gained him 3 seconds.
Wow. Yeah, he's crazy. really got the speed tonight, and it shows perhaps
and he's still got 100%
how slow
ERS.
he was. Perhaps it was showing just how slow he was driving in the first stint. saving those tyres. If he can unlock that with fresh mediums, really, really remarkable.
The next critical part of this race will be the traffic of the medium tyre runner of Bakker. Will he hold up Jaum enough so that Max can catch up?
How about this, Lightning? Yeah, I completely agree. But how about Yella having gone onto hard tyres?
Oh, interesting. He can then push as much as possible without any problem of overheating.
He is stuck behind two cars who've been battling hammer and tongs. Burmeister finally pits. Lap 11 he got those soft tyres too. And we'll see where I'm almost certain Speed Queen will have got past, frankly. And Living Wall's been putting in fastest laps as well. So Speed Queen goes across
Luke Bailey.
Wow.
Sorry to interrupt.
No,
but,
it's
we've
important.
seen a lot of spins here.
It's important. Yeah, Luke Bailey spinning down there then. Warrislander getting past. I think Warrislander might be racing under AI at the moment. Unless it's just the fact that he's being lapped that's showing us being problematic. But anyway, Burmeister lost 2.7 seconds to Speed Queen through the undercut. So it's exactly, well, very similar to what kind of a gap Helm pulled out with his racing. And Living Wall rejoins back in P8 behind Burmeister then within DRS range. Reschke and DeLange behind them.
Surely Living Wall will have to pit again for another set of softs the latter part of the race, because from lap 5 the mediums will not make it.
No, agreed. We've got lots of gaps have opened up beyond the DRS range, so we will focus on the ones that still have DRS. But remember those that first and third place drivers, as Helm has already got past Stinson and put 2 seconds on him. Incredible stuff. We've still got the first and third place drivers, Bakker and Stinson, yet to pit, and that will bring the field back together again. Of course, we may also get a full course yellow at some stage in this race as fatigue starts to take effect on the drivers and they start to get loose on those tyres. Max with the fastest lap. Yeah, good fastest lap from Max, 30.7, which is a very handy time.
But Max must have drained his ERS there from 60% now to 20. Meanwhile, Jaum with 92%. He just
so he's
seems
actually
like
found the ERS button. I thought perhaps his ERS button was not functioning tonight. He'd not touched it.
And he's half a tenth faster in Sector 1. Just a madman. How is he so fast? I don't know.
Rent says, should we be asking if he's an esports driver in secret? I know that he does race for the, of course, the LFR team in esports, but I don't think he's pro yet. But
should we ask if it's actually Daniele Musso on a new name?
Well, I'm not sure that Daniele Musso quite had this level of speed, honestly, last year.
That's a very good point.
I think Max was alluding to the fact that he was waiting for an opportunity this championship. Helm shows up just as Daniele leaves. But yes, I don't think anyone's seen them both in the same room at the same time.
I think he's about to set a fast lap here.
Okay.
It's been really fast on board.
He's catching Warrislander as well to put a lap on the 14th place driver.
Fastest lap. Max is going faster.
Reschke coming on the outside, can't quite make the move done on DeLange, but should be very, very nicely in position. If you can get the exit of the last curve correct, he'll have that DRS. Of course, there he goes to the inside. Not much of a fight from DeLange, but he knows when the driver behind is going to get him. And it's all about now Reschke trying to maximise that nice open track in front of him as well, and goes Yella off track for a moment. Unless that was some sort of disco issue, he was completely on the grass through, I think, turn 4, but he's rescued it, which is remarkable to say the least. If you get on the grass in the S's, good luck saving it, frankly.
That's a very good point. We have seen a lot of internet troubles in this lobby, so I wouldn't put it past some desync or something.
So
DeLange looking ready to attack Reschke here.
Yet again. DeLange just certainly wouldn't finish this race and claim it to be boring. Max is catching Stinson, and this could help Max's race pace overall. He's now got a 4.5 second gap to the net 3 driver, M. Doran. We've still just got 2 penalties on the board, Lightning, and we're halfway through.
And a track that is very difficult on strict corner cutting rules. You could easily cut like Degner 1 and 2, and exit of Spoon, so very impressive. I think Stinson's letting Max go past here. So
feel like much of a let past. I think Max has had to do it with some ERS and some DRS, but he's got there in the end.
Some wiggling there from Stinson.
Of course, Stinson doesn't need to give the place up.
No,
he needs the championship points, having only just returned to the championship. But it was a race for position. They were on the different tyres, of course, and you can see just how much less grip Stinson has at this stage. Been waiting for how many laps to go. Surely the soft window will be open very soon for Stinson here, Lightning.
Yeah, lap 17 probably. This is a critical part of the race for Jaum here. Stuck behind Bakker. Didn't manage to overtake him on the start-finish straight. Probably will now. Going to drain his ERS here.
Livingwall is closed up behind Burmeister as well. Keep an eye on that one.
Livingwall has been doing quite well on these old tyres.
Yeah, obviously enjoying them at the moment.
Choosing not to go for a move here. Maybe into the Casio Triangle, or he'll wait for the DRS, most likely.
Yeah, you don't want to put yourself in a risky position with someone who is on old tyres. But I would prefer to be braking in a different lane to the driver on older mediums, because you can always run into the back of them. Gets past, but only just with that overspeed. He's still saving that ERS through this race. But his net lead,
Seriously
nearly
impressive.
6 seconds now from Max.
Yeah,
so
not looking good for Max here. But still missing consistency on the podium.
Just missed Livingwall passing Burmeister, unfortunately, into turn 1. So Livingwall finally gets by. And Burmeister slipping down the order. He's dropped 2 places, but I have to say, Lightning, he's still in this race.
I think he's in a net P6, I reckon, or P5, because Stinson and Bakker will have to pit at some point, and Livingwall will only get slower and slower throughout the race. 7-lap fresher tyres for Burmeister.
The further we go into this race without a full course yellow, without a safety car, I should say, the better this looks for Bakker and Stinson, who can consolidate and build on the natural elongation of the field. The field always drifts apart.
I would say otherwise, actually. I think that Bakker and Stinson would probably want a safety car right now due to the fact that it's a pit lap. But I see what you mean about...
But yeah, the longer the race runs green, the better their overall position. But yeah, no, you're right. If there is a safety car, they will obviously take advantage of it. Haum puts a 1:30.433, takes the fastest lap away from Max now. And there goes Stinson into the pits. Where will Stinson come out? He's currently P4, having gained, I think, 14 places so far.
P11, maybe, behind Yella.
Yeah, there's a nice gap there, isn't there? Yeah, Yella has confirmed got past, and Yella is also getting past Delange on screen. Into the first curve nicely through turn 2, and now into the S's with a nice clear track in front of him. Max and M. Doran are about where they started this race, funnily enough, but Bakker will pit and give them each a place as a result. So Delange in P10, Stinson has gone down to P12 and is actually 5 seconds back from taking L's, so he's got some work to do on those new soft tyres. I'm assuming, yes, soft tyres. Yella, of course, will have, as Lightning mentioned, the ability to push on these hards, but he has to keep them in the right temperature window. That's the other challenge with the hard tyres.
Yeah, that is a good point. Also, they offer less grip in general, as is pretty obvious. But around here, temperatures is the main issue. Overheating is so easy to do, even on fresh softs, which Stinson will probably find out about quite soon. Yeah.
Here comes Bakker then into the pits. So how much further up the grid will he come out relative to Stinson? He had a reasonably good gap there on Stinson, Just riding with Yella, who is close behind Reshka still, just waiting to use the DRS if he can. And Bakker slips down, so it's Mercedes, Alpine, McLaren, Alpine, Red Bull, Ferrari, Alfa Romeo now dropping down. Reshka and Yella have got past Bakker, who I think is coming out in front of taking L's. Yeah, confirm that.
Yeah, he is.
So he's got a good gap still to Stinson, and he and Stinson, if they do find each other on track now in the remaining third of this race, will need to work together to maximise their race finishing positions. Just need to be careful when you're overtaking not to trigger a track limit penalty.
Yeah, I saw Living Wall going wide on the exit of second Degner.
For me, you can see why the difference in grip there for Yella, who drops back from Reshka on the hard tyres through the S's. Really puts a magnifying glass on that grip difference, I think, through that first sector.
Yeah, especially right now when Reshka has reasonably new mediums.
So Halm is doing a battle with his own focus and attention tonight. He's got a nearly 8-second gap over Max. Very, very impressive again from Halm. Could make this 2 wins from the last 2 races, but I was hoping for a 4th winner. We might have to give up on that hope at the moment. But M. Doran, as you say, he was in the penultimate place in the championship, currently on for a podium, although Speed Queen getting incrementally closer to him as the laps go tick by. Whether she will actually get there by the end, close enough to pass, with tyres left to do it, is another question. Livingwall in 5th. We're expecting to pit again unless he's got Perez-like levels of tyre saving.
Yeah, in that Red Bull. Burmeister's looking very fast. Again, closing in on Livingwall, who's going to start suffering. But who will close in on who first? Because they're all closing on each other.
That's right.
And hopefully there'll be a battle all at the same time.
Yeah, you do find towards the end of the race the gaps suddenly close back again. We've got a 3rd penalty on the board, this time from Luke Bailey. So it's taking L's Luke Bailey and Warrislander with penalties, but they're at the foot of the field, so it's not going to affect the finishing order too drastically. Burmeister, I think, is performing better tonight without his fans here.
Yeah, his fans decided to abandon him, so he decided to go faster.
Show them what they were missing, or perhaps perform better without the pressure of the fan club. Who knows? We'll have to, next time we get him on stream, we'll have to have a chat with him about that. Where did all the fans go, and why did the performance turn up? But
Speed Queen, sorry to interrupt, Speed Queen seems to lose most of the time in Sector 3, and then make it up throughout the rest of the lap.
Interesting. So
1.3 seconds again.
That to me sounds like someone with more downforce.
That could be the case. Yes, absolutely.
She's also spent a lot of ERS, so she needs some harvesting to launch a challenge for this podium at the end of the race.
Well, everyone is in the
yeah, really
20 or below, so in this little battle here that's brewing.
Yeah, I think we might end up with a 4-way battle for the podium, so stay tuned for this one. Do make sure before we get to the end of this race that you've liked the video tonight and subscribed to the channel. Followed everybody on socials if you can. But Livingwall P5, we are trying to hit records for the number of likes on the video, so if you're, especially if you're watching back after the event, one of the drivers, maybe make sure you've spammed that like button as much as you can on all of our videos. Burmeister is closing in on Livingwall, so I think we might end up very soon with 4 drivers within DRS range of each other in this midfield. But it's Halm at the front of the field with 6 to go. Max P2, M. Doran with a similar gap really from Max as well, and then this battle behind him. Speed Queen has finally got into DRS range, and we'll get some overspeed.
Not for this straight. She was about half a tenth away from the DRS line.
Oh, okay.
So
she caught after the DRS detection line.
Yeah.
She dropped under to about 8 tenths, but it's not enough Stinson with a new fastest lap of 1:30.141. That's going to stick in Helm's craw. He's not going to like to see that. So expect a response from him.
He did set multiple fastest laps every single lap in the Dutch Grand Prix.
Yeah.
So on old mediums.
And frankly, I hope he does. I hope he goes for successive fastest laps, because that will increase the chance of a mistake, and we might end up with a battle on our hands. I don't hope for someone to crash out, but I hope for him to be put under pressure, even if that's just his own pressure to take back that fastest lap. So we now do have those 3 drivers, 4th, 5th and 6th, all within DRS range of a potential podium, all eyeing that up, and this could get spicy right at the end.
Burmeister is looking the fastest, in my opinion, out of this group.
He's on the newest tyres as well. Remember, he stayed out longer than anybody else on the softs, so this could be part of the plan.
He suffered that undercut, but now he's reaping the rewards with fresher tyres.
Definitely. Well, Speed Queen, does she have DRS this time? Yes. Yep. So, but she still has very little by way of ERS, and that surprises me. I know there's a lot of places to spend, but there's a fair few places to harvest around this track, Lightning.
Well, the thing with this track is that you're usually going to be running around 10 wings or very high wings, and the braking zones, they're like very light dabs on the brakes. So look through the S section. Yep. They're only around maximum 50%, and then the hard braking is the Casio triangle and the hairpin. That's about it.
There is a fair amount off throttle though, which I think does still enable a little bit of harvesting. But
lifting off does.
Yeah.
Yes. Lifting off does help.
Reshka, Bakker and Jelle super close here, perhaps closer than that battle for the podium, the battle for the final points paying positions. No one is willing to brave it into the hairpin. These 3 cars though, nice and close together, all on 3 different sets of tyres. Bakker will be the one with the most grip, of course, with the youngest soft tyres, but he's going to be very frustrated to come across cars in pairs. He needs to come across cars one at a time, Lightning, for the DRS advantage.
Yeah, the DRS train, it's very difficult to brake, especially with low ERS that we're seeing here. But hopefully Speed Queen can get that slipstream, start an attack, start a battle which will bring the rest of the field closer. She's
very close, but it's just not there. She's so close as she gets within 2/10 into turn 1, but it just wasn't enough. Reshka and Jelle trading places once again, second lap in succession into turn 1. Bakker trying to sneak one up the inside into turn 2, but backs out of it very wisely, because that almost went very wrong indeed. And Jelle getting up into P7 now from Reshka and Bakker. Bakker can't make the best use out of these softs.
I know Stinson is spun too late, I think, for a safety car, and he has gotten going again.
He's been running around for fastest lap points, but he's dropped out of the top 10 now, so it's not working out for him at the moment. Livingwall has left Speed Queen's mirrors, and Speed Queen and M. Doran are racing off up the up into the distance. Now it's just slipped back again, as Speed Queen perhaps didn't get the best line through Spoon. So she needs to catch back again.
Triangle.
For who? Speed Queen?
Yeah.
Well,
it'd be cool to see.
It would be great, but and you can go side by side. It's very it's very Della Roggia kind of a chicane. You can go side by side, but you can also have pretty horrible accidents.
I think it's going to happen here. I think it's going to happen around the outside, possibly. Oh, the inside! Oh my goodness
to
me!
The inside. She's been so patient through that. Had to fight to get the car into the right gear through turn 2, but Speed Queen, up to P3, then onto the potential podium. Burmeister is in 6th place now. Reshka, Bakker and Jelle have completely swapped over. I think Jelle had a difficult run through turn 1 and got done by both drivers. Wow.
I was on board a huge snap of oversteer through turn 1, and Bakker with those fresh softs is absolutely blitzing the field at the moment.
Yeah, he's going to be driving with tremendous grip. Will he go for it into the hairpin, I wonder?
Stinson, again, off and no front wing.
Stinson, unfortunately, this is fading into a pretty unpleasant race in the end. On his return to the championship, he wanted to come back with a lot of glory, but unfortunately, I think we might need to put a bit more practice in. Gam says, go Speed Queen, so the Speed Queen fan club starting to speak up now. Great to see her up towards the podium. Great for Alpine as well, potentially, with 2 complete racing laps to run for the leader. It's Hound, Max and Speed Queen, and Doran Livingwall, Burmeister, nice and close behind Livingwall. Then Reshka, Bakker on the soft tyres, getting closer and closer, and might have a go here. He's got so much overspeed, finally gets the chance to get shot of this Williams and Mercedes driver pairing that he's been battling with for lap after lap, and now he can set his sights on the next target up the road, which is Burmeister, some 5.7 seconds away, but he'll be glad to be shot of those 2.
Yeah, and now he can stretch the legs, hopefully get a 1 second gap, and relax for the last 2-3 laps.
I don't think anyone's relaxing when you get to the end of a 50% race around Japan. You start relaxing, Lightning, and this narrow, old-school track will bite you in the backside.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great train of cars, yeah, from Endoran onwards, yeah.
But he is not going to let this podium go out without a fight. And ultimately in the championship, he wants these points, he wants this glory at Japan. And
a quick look
he's going to be fighting all the way.
The ERS situation, about 46 for the rearmost driver Burmeister, 25 for Livingwall, about 15 now. And yeah,
very clever.
They're in reverse order of their track position in terms of how much battery they've got left for the end of this race, and Speed Queen has not been able to get away from Endoran, who might come back with less than half a second away on the way out of the final corner. Indeed, Speed Queen hugging that inside Honda wall. She is derating into the first corner, but holds on. Just had enough.
Waiting for the last lap. Then there's a 0% chance of a fight back.
That's true.
Meanwhile, Yella and Reshka battling again. It's never ending, this fight.
Who would have thought it between those 2, yeah. So, lap 26 to 27, Hound, Max, Speed Queen. I think absolute credit to Yella and Reshka, who have been so busy tonight to put on the show and haven't made contact and haven't picked up a penalty either. Fantastic stuff.
I've got 2 drivers of the day in my mind at the moment.
Okay.
I will find out the end of the race which one is more worthy, I guess.
Absolutely. Speed Queen is getting 4 places from her start position, and of course the further up the grid that is, the better. Bakker up 9 so far. I don't think he's going to get another one unless someone has a dramatic issue in the top 6 drivers. Up 3 taking else, all candidates, I would say. Max has pretty much been on his own in terms of pace, but so is Helm. Yeah, yellow flag in what? Temporarily, the whole track.
Glitch, I believe.
But
I thought it was a safety car, weirdly enough, but no, 1 lap to go.
Yeah, we can't be doing with any of that. We've all seen enough of the safety car in F1 2021, frankly.
Burmeister with a personal best there, draining all of his 40% ERS that he's kept, but nothing. It will come to no avail against Livingwall. Not enough straight line speed because of the DRS train.
Absolutely. One last quick look at telemetry, if the boss will permit me, just so we get an idea. And yeah, into the mid-teens.
That's the mistake from Livingwall. He touched the inside curb. He nearly lost the car there. He hasn't lost it yet though.
Burmeister could get it. Burmeister could get him here.
Into the hairpin possibly. A late dive. Come on, Burmeister. I know I'm meant to be impartial, but this is looking good.
Stinson with another penalty out there as well. Burmeister, great drive off the hairpin. It's not going to come to much though. I don't want to miss any action on track, but I also don't want to miss our winner, who's so far up the road. It's almost all over for Halm as he goes through the Casio triangle for the final time, safely through the final corner, and Halm dominates the Japanese Grand Prix at Suzuka, wins round 4, and he takes the wheel off. What have we got going on? Oh, here comes Living Wall. Look at this. M. Doran with the inside line. Burmeister trying to get the best of it, and he runs into the back. Burmeister spins. I think he should be able to recover this one. Can he get the car back under control in order to finish in front of Bakker? Yes, I think he just will. So it is Max second, Speed Queen third, M. Doran fourth, Living Wall, Burmeister, Bakker is the way they will finish this one after a collision. There was nowhere for Bakker to brake and go to at the final. Then Yeller in P8. We've got Delange in P9 and Reshka finishing 10th after a hard-fought battle all the way through. In fact, I'm surprised to see Reshka drop behind Delange. Maybe there was a penalty at play there. Taking L's, Luke Bailey, Warrislander and Stinson will be the final one across the line in quite a while, it has to be said. But Warrislander goes. Halm takes the win. I wonder if we might speak to Halm. I don't know if we'll be able to. Stinson spun again.
Yeah. I think he did it on purpose, to be fair, this time.
Right, okay. Yeah, he's left a bit of a souvenir for one of the marshals at the fire post at the start of backstretch. Perhaps, oh no, he's got a puncture, Lightning. He's fighting a puncture here, I think.
The rear left?
No. Oh, I could have sworn a moment there it looked a bit, it looked dodgy, but I think that's just the rotation.
Shadows.
Yeah, on some very old looking tyres. So
love the
Stinson
pilot we have.
will come across. I'm not sure that the boss will like that, but unfortunately that's the way everyone has finished. We will try and get a quick podium interview with our drivers. It'd be great to talk to Max as usual. Bakker gets the official driver of the day, Lightning, but what about your driver of the day?
Well, it was between Livingwall and Burmeister. Livingwall managing to go from lap 5 all the way to lap 27 on those mediums.
Yeah.
But he did make that huge mistake, which was a bit clumsy. Burmeister from previously getting around 14th, 13th place, now P6, nearly P4. I think Burmeister's my driver of the day.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well, we've got Halm, of course, on the top step. He hasn't spoken to us before. I think he is talking. He would be talking all the way from Brazil, but he could speak Portuguese to you, Lightning, if he's listening and wants to do that. But maybe would you rather take us through the grid order or start getting the invites together?
I am already inviting.
Okay, so it's Halm who takes the win. Second win of the championship. 2 wins from 2 races for Halm. Started first, finished first. Didn't sadly get the fastest lap, but a race time of 41.34. Halm takes the win again. Max is second. Another consistent performance from Max. Speed Queen, his teammate, in P3. Then M. Doran, Livingwall, Burmeister, Bakker get big points. Yeller, Delange and Reshka finish it off. And then just finishing outside of the points, taking out Luke Bailey, Warrislander, Stinson with the fastest lap, Craig, and Simply 90, who retired at the end of this one. Craig and Simply 90 sadly didn't make it to the very end. But yeah, we will just hang on a moment or two to see if we might get Halm. But one would obviously understand if he's not expecting to go for it. But yes, if he does listen back to enjoy the race, he'll be able to find out that Lightning will be able to speak fluent Portuguese to him, and the YouTube algorithm will sort us out with English subtitles later. But while we wait for Halm, I'll just mention to our press conference attendees just to check that broadcast audio setting is set to share, because we don't want to miss that. And I'll just give one more thank you while they do that to our sponsors, Nelcott Hall Hotel Golf and Country Club, to GT Omega race seats and wheel stands, and our partners gridfinder.com, where you can find a place to go racing or a commentator perchance, and also Driver 61, home of many sim racing tips and tricks and interesting blog articles. But let's go to Max first of all. Max, that was a very typical Max performance there tonight.
Yeah, well, quite boring race actually. Yeah, but I know why Jam is so quick.
Okay.
Because he drives. He's from Brazil, right?
Yes.
And it's the morning for him.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's fresh, you know. We all here as Europeans come after a huge day of work, long day of work, and then we have to drive, and that is why I think
He's probably got
I'm
several
joking.
cups of good Brazilian coffee in him as well,
Yeah,
while
exactly.
you're digesting your dinner and. Oh no, you probably haven't
Yeah,
had
yeah,
dinner
yeah.
yet in
That's why.
France, right? So.
Yeah, yes, my red wine and stuff like that. So
That's a good
yeah,
spot. We'll have
well,
to ask him when we see him. But yeah, so a boring race from your seat, but good result no less.
yeah, of course. Well, in terms of championship, for me it will be hard to resist from Jam. I mean, he's too quick for the moment. The gap is really huge. I thought for a moment that I could fight with him, but I made a terrible start. The problem is that this season I've decided to remove basically the traction control.
Yep.
And my starts are really, really hard, so I lost a bit of time behind M. Doran, I think, in the McLaren. But I was eager to join the fight with Livingwall and John. But then Livingwall made a mistake. My pit stop was one lap after John, and he was too far away. I tried to stay with him, but the guy is just too quick. But for the constructors championship, it's still looking good with Alpine, because it's a double podium from me and Speed Queen. So and the other Mercedes was quite far behind. So it's actually quite a good result for Alpine overall.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. I mean, a difficult race. It's always tricky around Suzuka. Were you surprised to not see a safety car out there tonight?
Yeah, I was hoping for a safety car in order to reduce that gap, that 10-second gap. But, you know, there is improvement, because last week I think there was like 20 seconds between myself and John, and now it's only 10 seconds. So maybe next week, it will be 0 seconds in my favor. So I hope so.
Yeah, well, we hope for that too. Is it motivating to you, Max, though, to push even harder and keep the practice in?
Well, I've got to admit it's quite the opposite.
I thought so.
Because he's too quick. I mean, I don't see how I can reduce the gap. Honestly,
all I will say is that connecting transatlantically from Brazil, he will be more likely to have discos and mechanicals. So you might be able to do it that way.
Yeah, but I don't want to hope for that. You know?
No, of course.
I want to battle on track, but yeah, maybe I will consider moving to Brazil in order to do the races in the morning. Yeah, maybe it will help.
Well, thanks, Max. Thanks for talking to us as usual. Great result, and yeah, allez les bleus.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Thanks.
I think Speed Queen might be with us. Speed Queen, are you receiving us?
Sadly, Speed Queen isn't here.
Oh, she was in a minute ago. Oh, that's a shame.
She was? I think Burmeister was, but Burmeister left.
Oh, okay. I could have sworn I saw Speed Queen had joined the session. Maybe not. Maybe she felt Max had said everything for the Alpine team. But yeah, it looks like our drivers have run out on us, Lightning. They've all got other places to be.
I've asked Burmeister to rejoin, but I'm afraid he's not responding.
Well,
Also,
any takeaways for you? That's our fourth race down, and we've had 3 different winners, but Helm looks like he's got a stranglehold right now.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Max can find another gear. Maybe a great track for him will be coming up soon, hopefully. And we can see a battle for the lead again.
We go off to Azerbaijan, so that's always a bit of a lottery.
Chaotic race.
Yeah, as to who will finish that one. So basically, Helm's results for his 3 races he's taken part in so far: second, first. Pretty
That's
special.
very impressive. Oh,
Burmeister has joined us. Well, you can take the interview with Burmeister then, because I know you enjoy that.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Hello. Very well. How are you?
I'm good, mate. Finally, some results.
I know.
The first 3 races were really shit.
Oh my god. Oh.
Apologies to any children or easily offended people watching.
Oh,
Well,
sorry.
all I can say is that it's fine because Burmeister's an admin, so surely it's all right.
I can't cook myself.
You can make the rules. You can make the rules.
I could bend them.
Yeah. So
no, but this was.
I'll say nothing about Dutch drivers bending rules.
Yeah. That's good about that. No. This was what we were looking for. I really in the first 3 races. I also this one I had like bad preparation. I only did like I built a setup like an hour before, and I tested some quick things and some race things quickly to see if the tires would not overheat. And yeah, the setup was great to drive tonight. So I stretched the soft run. So I knew in the end I would get the best tires, and I think it was so, but it was just a train with us 4 there fighting for P3 and difficult to overtake. I tried in the last corner, final attempt, but it didn't work. But I'm still happy with the points, and that I'm like 1 second behind P3 normally. If we don't count the spin, I'm in the group for P3, and that's good for the future.
Absolutely. Did you ask your fan club to stay away today so you could focus on the racing?
No, I had like Buell and Simply. I know those guys. They live closely nearby, and they're friends from Kuipers. He's my brother-in-law. And I know them, and they just started sim racing this year. And the first 3 races, I had them in like parties and like a lot of background noises and shit, and people screaming, and it distracted me a lot, as well as being the admin. And if there are problems before with a lobby, then your mind is to set up the lobby good, and that everyone has an invite, and you're not set totally on racing, and that was quite different to get used on. But I think tonight proved that we're still here, mate.
You're still here. You didn't go in. You didn't go away.
We didn't.
You didn't go away. You're back. You're back with us. So that's good to see. You can let your fan club know to join us in the live chat once again, because we've missed them tonight. We've missed them. But GG's to you, Burmeister. Congrats, and of course a big thank you from everyone in the F1 division for the work you're doing as an admin.
Yeah. Thank you to everyone racing every week as clean as possible. That's just the most important thing, that everybody wants to race clean, and that we can have like really good races, no safety cars, no shit, and that's the most important thing, I think, to have good league races.
Yeah, well said. Good stuff. Thanks for joining us, Burmeister, and good performance tonight.
Thank you. Have a good evening, and I'll join you tomorrow on F2.
Okay. Yeah, let's check out what's Kuipers. Now we know that there's a family connection to Burmeister in there. Well, Lightning, let's head off shortly. A big thanks to everyone who's watched with us to the end. Make sure you've liked the video for us tonight. If we see plenty of likes, I don't have to ask for them. So you know what to do next time. Lightning, any last comments or takeaways from you tonight?
Just hopefully seeing more of the same from Burmeister like we saw this race. Some more top 5s, that'd be good to see, and some close racing between the leaders. Maybe Jaum and Livingwall can have that battle that we thought might happen at the start of this race. But we'll see. Azerbaijan is a very difficult track, and I'm looking forward to the carnage that may ensue.
So we will look forward to that next week. Although, of course, if you've subscribed to the channel already, you will know that same time tomorrow you can join myself and Lightning again for the F2 division, and of course Burmeister on the live chat. You can ask all your questions to Burmeister live on the live chat tomorrow as he supports Kuipers. And then of course there are plenty of other races through the week. There's PC1, there's F3, there's the Realistic Performance League, and so on and so on. So a whole week worth of racing for you here on the Invictus Racing League channel. We go to Azerbaijan next week, but from me, Webbo, from Lightning, and everyone at Invictus, we will catch you on the next race day.